Well, hello there. Yes, let me, let's just get right into it. Okay, so I'm doing, vehicle combat for Star Wars role-playing game, Edge of the Empire, or, yeah, Edge of the Empire, of course, or whatever. So, I want to teach you about, vehicle vessel combat with figures. Okay, so we're going to go over that. Now check out Banthas. You got Banthas here. Now I'm not going to get all the naming conventions right for Star Wars. I'm just, my brain just is not collecting information like it used to, so I'm going to get things wrong. I know there's a flash speeder here, and a regular land speeder. But again, I'm going to misname things, and I am teaching you the basics of vehicle combat and with figures included, because there should be a ton of that going on in Star Wars. And just to get comfortable with it, and I may not get everything accurately perfect, but I'm, as a GM and a DM for 30-40 years, I'm going to teach you how the basics, and then just if you don't know something, just go with it, especially in Star Wars role-playing game. That's what's great about it. And obviously the main thing for Star Wars role-playing is you don't need maps and you don't need miniatures, but I love them, and that's just the way I like playing it. And also, these miniatures, by the way, are free on my website. They're not mine, obviously. They're the action figures and the toys. And I just collected, Google imaged. I just Google imaged and cut and paste and folded them and printed them out on photo paper. And the thinner paper is better, actually, I discovered, as opposed to thick. But photo paper really brings out the color in them. You can use regular paper too if you want. Just not as shiny. So, how am I going to do combat? And by the way, these maps, and I'll talk about that later. I'll try to get to the point. But these maps are on my Kickstarter. But if you're into that, if you're not into that, I get it. It's a niche of a niche of a niche. Oh, that's fine. Okay, so I don't know how to make money. Okay, so this is sort of one story that we played out, and I want to go through how this kind of unfolds, right? I mean, check this out. It's the Tuscans versus them on their land speeders. So the basic story is they were heading to the Tuscan village to take them out because this Tuscan Raiders want to kill all the off-worlders. And then we have a good Tuscan who's like, our side wants peace. And then these guys are, and this is really cool. This is in Legends or whatever, and I don't know the whole thing, but there's Het, who was a Jedi, and he became part of the Sand People, the Tuscan Raiders, and he had a lightsaber, so he turned bad. And obviously, I think he might even be in some of the Mandalorian stuff, or the connection thing. Or his Padawan or whatever, his whatever. Anyway, but they have a legend of Het, like Het will return and reunite us, So so these are the zealots. These are the ones that are like, they're doing their little jihad on everybody and trying to clear out the world. And then these ones are like, no, we want peace, So anyway, that's the backstory. Now, I'm going obligation. These are some pirates that come along. They're just minions, they get to use because when they were going to the village, it's going to be really tough to fight. And so the characters managed to do the whole negotiation thing with the local criminal boss, and get a couple of pirates to help them. Right? They gave them the worst ones, and it's a comedic thing. We don't even have any guns, Anyway, so I don't use obligation, but I think obligation is a very great idea. And I have another video based on that. But if you GM and you add a lot of different characters coming in and out, the obligation is going to come naturally, just merely because they're working with this little pirate guy, captain, boss, and they got some of his men, so they're going to owe him just in general play. Now, the Star Wars role-playing game, the obligation, they kind of make it into mechanics and rules, and that's fine if you need that. If you need that kind of, I gotta look at the little camera thing. If you need that kind of help or push or organization, definitely use obligation. But if you understand, just like you're gonna have some pirates and they're gonna deal with each other, and that's naturally obligation. That's gonna come into play when you GM. So you don't have to worry about using obligation. Although I still think you looking at obligation, reading it through, getting familiar with it, especially as a new GM, will help you give you ideas that you can use whenever you want. And GM, do it when it feels right to you, when it gets you excited, because when you do it when you're excited, that sells them. Don't do it out of obligation. Don't use obligation out of obligation because you feel like you're supposed to, or you roll and use it when it feels awesome to you. Every aspect of this game, by the way, or in GMing in general, always do things that are exciting to you, because that'll sell to the players way better than anything else, really. And don't be a know-it-all either. Now I'm going to the gym. Okay, let's just go. Don't be a know-it-all, because you're going to be a jerk. Work together with how the rules work and da-da-da. Okay. So these guys are all in their vehicle combat. So how does this work? I don't remember how they split them up, but they had... how did they do it? I know they had the pirates here. Whatever. Okay, so... And yeah, the black and white, there's a color side for the front, and then I just use the black and white for the back. It's easy, it's quick. I can throw these characters away if I want. Oh, these are 2 frag grenades. They got them, I think it was actually for the village. They got them, and then I give them like this, and then I'm using my frag grenade! You know. But anyway. So the Tuscan Raiders were 2 on each bantha, not 3. That's just the dude on there. Each of them had a sniper, and each of them had a gaffy stick. You know, I'm not gonna. Now these were just. Oh no, there was minion. Oh, they had minions too. They had a group of 3 minions. Let me pull these out. And yes, I have and I haven't figured out exactly how I'm going to organize them, but these are all the minis on my page. Anyway, let me just get to the rules. Let me get to that first, and then I can blab. I'm sorry, I've already blabbed too much. Okay, so they had some minions with them as well, you know, because they were going to reinforce the Het guy who was wanting, you know, the return of Het. And so these guys were coming to join with them, you know, so they're like, oh my god, we gotta stop them, and then go to the village and stop them. Okay, so they're coming along single file, had these guys hidden behind them, kind of thing. And these are driving along. Now this map is not the one they were using, like the terrain, but I'm just gonna go ahead and use it for the fun of it. And obviously, you know, you can only get so much on your screen, so you might even have to zoom out and just play it. This is my map of my... I'll get into the maps later. This is a little commercial at the end. But anyway, let's just say this is the terrain they're on. So, now everything's not to scale, so it doesn't matter. So what I did is, okay, there's their encounter. You know, they're coming along, da-da-da. We can roll initiative, figure that out. They're in long range right now. Now, the vehicles probably could have shot, because they have a mounted heavy gun on there. They probably could have shot from even further away, but I'm like, just long range. That's when you can start shooting each other, because, you know, the vehicles, you know, the gun probably has a longer range to shoot even further out. But you know, as a GM, I made the call. At long range, you start shooting each other. And they started shooting their the slug throwers, and then they were shooting. They have some slug throwers. They got a bunch of slug throwers and the mounted heavy cannon. So the heavy cannon thing. I don't know what's the name of this thing. And yes, I got to take my glasses off if I really want to. I usually wear like a one contact that's long range, but ever since I've been doing the Kickstarter, it's changed. So I've got to go back in. Anyway, so the mounted weapon. Let me find. It's not on here. Oh, this is just regular weapons. All right, I'm sorry. Go to the mounted weapons. So this is in the vehicle section of, you know, all the core rule books. And where is it? I think it's a little bit. So remember, it's based on the silhouette of the thing, and usually the basic is here. Let me just do this. This is your really all. That's your basic firing is two. I mean, I'm sorry. The difficulty is 2 purple. That's just keep it like that. Now, if this is in close, short or close range, I would go ahead and make it. Oh, it's really easy to hit. Just 1 difficulty. But at long range here, because I'm sort of changing the planetary scale stuff of the vehicles into the close-up stuff of them, I'm just going to say 2. It's just simple enough. They want to hit the bantha. But they don't actually hit the banthas. They go for the groups. Because we want the banthas, you know, so they didn't want to kill the banthas. They love bantha milk. Very great commodity. Okay, so they're going to go after. Well, they got coverage. So I think these guys jump off and go down for cover too, to start shooting at them. I think they shoot from here. They go for you know what they. I'm sorry, I don't remember the exact details of what they did, but I know they went for the drive. They don't want to kill the Mantha, so they went for the Tuscan Raiders, and because of that, I gave them since they want to shoot the drivers and not the bantha, you know, I gave them one setback die. You know, so it's harder to hit them because they're on the banthas. But so they're, but anyway, so that weapon there. Oh, here, starship and vehicle weapons. I'm gonna start using my eyes here. So the flash speeder. Oh, I have it over here. I have it over here. Okay, so I have my little sheet, you know, printout sheet, and I'm gonna start making these available on my website too, so you can have little handy. I mean, unless the Star Wars guys want to shut me down, but whatever. Okay, so they have a heavy repeating blaster, damage 15, crit 2, out, long range, but I'm gonna use the long range of the thing just for store. I don't want them to be able to shoot them and then they can't shoot back. I want, you know what I mean? So the player's like, cool. Okay, so you got to use your gunnery skill. I don't, you know, the sheet's right there, but let's just say the gunnery skill. I know they're not these. None of these guys are. Or there's a bounty hunter and a colonist and a force user. I don't remember which one, but she's sort of a beginning force user. It's pretty cool. And then the pirates are, of course, got just like 2 skill. You know, for the pirate guys and the I just give him 2 green dice to shoot. And then for the Tuscan Raider, or he's not a Raider because he doesn't raid. He's a Tuscan guy. I think I give him. I don't remember what I got him, but maybe 3 green. You know, just keep it simple. 3 green. Okay. Now, since they don't want to shoot the banthas, they just want to hit them. That's a setback die. And the gunner is the same thing. Like it's like 2 or 3 because none of them have great skills in gunnery. They have, you know, they got the rifle and stuff. But one of them is using the gunnery thing, and they're all obviously using their slug rifles, and they do have some of this on there. I don't remember exactly what. But for vehicles, so let's say the bantha is a vehicle. So if that vehicle and that vehicle are about the same size, so let's just say that they did that. So it would just be long range 2, close up 1. Silhouette to silhouette for vehicles is always 2 if you're equal to whatever the range. Because remember, the range for vehicles has nothing to do with the level of difficulty. It only has to do with how far away you can shoot or engage something. You know, so like starfighters are all, I think, like short or close range. So they can't shoot a Star Destroyer that's in long range. They have to get close to shoot them, and they would the difficulty would probably only be 1 die. Period. You know, once they get into short range, they start shooting 1 die. So that's the kind of the flip in regular shooting versus vehicle shooting. Unit to unit shooting, range, short, medium, and long. The difficulty die change. For vehicles, the short, medium, and long, whatever, only means where they have to get to start shooting. That's, you know, the difference between when these change for vehicles, the difficulty is the size difference. Okay, and then you can just kind of, you know, they have the chart, but again, if they're about the same size, it's just 2 die. And I would say a TIE Fighter and Millennium Falcon. I would say for the TIE Fighter, it's 2 to hit the Millennium Falcon. I could be wrong, but it's about 2. For the Millennium Falcon to hit the TIE Fighter, though, it's 3. You know, and I'm just saying that. I'm not even sure if it's accurate with the rules, but to me that makes sense. You know, just based on what I read, and I think the TIE Fighter the speed is a part of it, or that might even be a setback die as well. I'm not sure. I have to probably review that. But you know what? If I'm in the middle of the game, 3, just 3 difficulty. You know, I'm just gonna go with it. I can't remember all the rules. Okay, but anyway, so let's go back to this. So they want to shoot the people, not the banthas. So how does it work with a heavy blaster rifle? So since it's long range, silhouette, I'm thinking silhouettes too. They're a lot smaller. I'm thinking it's 3 difficulty to hit them, and a setback die because they're on the bantha. And then the gunner, the players don't have that much skill in gunnery, so they might have 2, maybe 3. So this is probably what would be, and I wouldn't be surprised if they took a destiny point to get this up to 1. But let's just say they do regular. Let me just roll it for the fun of it. And we usually use the tray. We usually have the dice all over the place, or we use a secondary tray rather. I take that back. We have the big tray for the dice, but they get all over the place, and then a smaller tray for the results. I don't know if this camera can see that, but what I try to do too is take out dice that are matching. A lot of players just move them to the side, but I'll just take them out. Okay, so failure and a advantage. So he missed, and advantage if it's one advantage, sometimes I just skip it. But if it, I'll give him a boost die. Okay, here you get a boost die. You know, you're kind of getting the range. You're kind of figuring it out. So that's that. Now, if you would have hit, it would have been 15. Would have been automatic kill. You know, 15 because the thing does 15 damage. And so let's say the slug thrower now is shooting them. Now they are deciding to shoot the actual vehicles because they want to stop the vehicles. Okay, how does that work? That's finally getting to the point. I'm gonna make a link on the thing that says here's where you really need to start. Okay, so the slug thrower against the vehicles. Now the pilot can obviously say I'm doing an evasive maneuver if they want, right? So you just roll an evasive maneuver, and I believe I would just say 2 difficulty, and then let's say he's got one rank in it. And that's just him just driving and he's not doing anything else. So 1 success, so he does it. So I'm just going to give this guy 1 setback because he's trying to do evasive maneuvers. But if he is trying to do evasive maneuvers, that means the other guys have an extra difficulty to their shooting because he's doing evasive maneuvers. So I didn't put that into that play. But I'll just skip it for the next one. So, and that's based on his turn. So what if his turn, he didn't even get to do it yet? So I'm going to say that was his turn. He just did an evasive maneuver. And then now this guy, the slug thrower, is shooting. And so what does he get? So their slug thrower is, I'm going to give him 3. No, I'm going to give him I don't want to go too hard on them yet. Like when they get to the village, I'm going to increase the skills of some of the raiders. But for now, I'll just leave it as kind of like this. Okay, so a green and a yellow, which is I forgot the name of it. Upgrade die. And then the difficulty to hit that is pretty easy. But he did an evasive maneuver, so I add 1. Yeah, so easy to hit it with a 1 difficulty. But because he did the maneuver and he was successful, I'm going to add 1 extra. And so he's not trying to hit them; he's just trying to hit the vehicle. And I'm going to give him aim because that's the players. I'm going to keep that over there. I'm going to give him aim because he's just sitting there on the bantha. So here we go. All right, I'm going to show you how this works if he hits. Well, even if he doesn't hit. Okay, so it looks like he missed. He got 1. Yeah, I can't really. So he got 1. Okay, so he missed, and then he got 1 thing because I had to switch it over. So in that case, I'll just go ahead and give him a boost die over there. But let me roll again until he hits. Let's just get this going. Okay, so take all these out. So 2 hits. Okay. Testing. Okay. So I'm editing and adding. I'm trying to add in some info, on the video. I really want to explain this to you in case you need this. Okay. So vehicles have shields. They have shields, and so if your vehicle or flash, obviously the land speeders don't have shields, but if they did, it would just be not, it'd be, if say it had a shields of 1, then you would get an extra setback die to being hit. That would, to anyone shooting at the vehicle. If you had a shields of 2, it'd be 2 setback die. So that's it. It's not 10 or whatever. It's, it's just the same. Shields is just the same whether you're being shot at by a vehicle or by a person on a personal scale. Okay, so that's pretty simple. Shields are pretty basic. Armor now is the same as the hull trauma, the wounds. Armor is either 1. It's either 1 for versus vehicle to vehicle, or it's 10 versus a personal scale weapon. So that flash speeder, let's say he was shooting at a bantha that had armor 1. The flash speeder would need to make 10 hit points of damage on top of, another 10. Or let me take that back. Let's say that the flash speeder had an armor of 1, which it doesn't. But let's say it had an armor of 1. So the Tuscan Raider would have to do 10 points of damage to the armor of 1, and then another 10 just to do a hull trauma. So that'd be 20 hit points. And so that the armor always absorbs if the armor is, let's say, armor 1, it's always absorbing that first 1 hit, or it's like soak, that first 1 hit, or that 10 hit points of personal scale. Okay, so there's armor, which is the same as soak. Hull trauma is obviously what you have, and then system strain. So system strain, and this will come to play here in a minute in the video. It kind of doesn't times 10 really isn't a factor because the system strain that you get on a vehicle is usually only through crits. Because if you're,
I suppose if someone is flying it, you could add strain to the ship, and that would kind of be 1-to-1. I don't think it would be 1/10. You know what I mean? I don't. I can't really think of a situation. Well, I'm sure there is when you're flying and you do an utter failure. You could probably give yourself some strain and then the ship some strain as well. I know it's in there. I just don't know the details of it. But I don't think this ×10 is a factor when it comes to system strain. I could be wrong on that, but I don't think it is, especially on the crits. Because if I was able to penetrate the vehicle, say the flash speeder, with my slug thrower and then give it a critical, it would just take whatever the critical says as far as strain. It wouldn't be 1/10 of that. It would just be that. Okay, so that I'm going to add this video in there because I feel like this is really important stuff here. All right, I'm working on helping you out here, and myself.
All right, slug thrower. The slug thrower does. Can I see it? Does 7 plus the 2, 9. Bing! Because he has a 5-hole threshold, right? Hit hole trauma threshold or whatever. 5. Remember, every of those is times 10, so one of them is 10. So he made 9. He has to make 10 to take 1 off. That's how it works. He has to make 10 to take 1 off. Okay. So he has to make. If he makes 9, bing! All right, you got a nice dent in there, on the hole, but it didn't penetrate. So this flash speeder has 5 hull traumas. So these guys have to make 10 hit points to hit one, bring it down to 4. And he didn't make any extra things like the advantages to do, because for a slug thrower to do a crit, and these crits don't require 10, it only requires 5. So it's going to be really hard for the slug thrower to penetrate or crit that vehicle. But let's just say there's a awesome, hero guy, and he's shooting him. He's got aim, shooting him. Let's just say let's say he doesn't do the evasive maneuver this time. He's just going at him, getting closer. And, I'm just trying to cut to the chase here as far as how does these guys damage this? And remember, this is the flash speeder and the land speeder are the most minimal armored things. So these guys with the slug throwers would not be able to go up against the walkers or whatever. They would have to have something, something else. Oh, actually, so since he's aiming, I'm going to say this. He pulls out his special bullets. So you can do that. You can add little things like that. So let's say he's got the special bullet that gives him extra boost die. Extra penetrating bullet or whatever. The Tuscan Raiders have a secret bullet they make. Maybe they, coat it with some kind of weird uranium thing that they aren't aware that poisons them. Okay, so, and the only difficulty is this. Nothing else is a difficulty, let's just say. There could be other, I could say that they're all shooting at him, and I would give him a setback die because, he killed the other guy, and the Bantha's going crazy, with shots being fired around. I could do stuff like that. But let's just say he's shooting at him. He's in medium range now because they're getting closer, and he wants to take out that thing. Let me see if he can do that. Nope, doesn't. He's got, okay, so just for the fun of it, all fail, so 0, no success or failure, so that's a failure, and 3 boost die. So let's say, this thing blows these guys up, because if he makes 1 hit on these guys, and it's pretty easy, it's a, so there, he's got the gunnery skill. I'm just, real quick, this guy shoots these guys. If he hits, they're all dead. 15 damage. But what would he need? He would need, let's say, medium range. So now, if it's him going against them, what is it? It's so I'm going to say 2 die to hit. They're down on the ground in cover. Give them a setback die. And do I know it's 2 difficulty? I'm not totally sure. I'm just going to say it's 2 difficulty. It could be 1, could be 2. I don't care. 2. 1 setback die because they're in cover. So this guy didn't do his evasive maneuvers. The driver, or the chick. I think the dude was the driver. The Tuscan was shooting. The dude was the driver. He's the pilot. He's the smuggler pilot. And the chick, the colonist, is shooting. So she's got terrible. So she's gonna have 2 of those. She aims. But then I'm thinking, because she's on that vehicle and it's moving, I'm not gonna let her aim. See, that's what Gina. Aww. She's all, she gets a destiny die. Fine. Okay, so there's that. And let's say, oh, look, this is from the other players, right? So they give it to her. Take out that group. All she needs is to hit too. Looks like, yep, she does it. So take that out. All right, so 3 hits and 1 disadvantage. So 3 hits, boom. I mean, they're dead. 15, damage. 15 plus 3, so and then what did I say? Oh, only 1 disadvantage. 1 disadvantage. Take a strain. Yeah, take a strain because strain. That's this. Yeah, go a strain. I even forget to just go a strain. Take a strain. I forget. Okay, so there's that. That was done. Boom. These guys are getting shot at. These pirates are terrible shooters. And she's driving it like, oh my gosh, these guys are idiots. Okay, that's kind of what happened. Okay, so, what am I gonna do? Okay, so that was it. Okay, let's just say he does one more shot. Man, he's got the ammo. It's short range. I'm gonna say it's only 1 difficulty. That guy is a raider. I'm gonna use my own destiny point to bring this up because I'm evil like that. This is the Tuscan Raider shooting, like the lead guy. He's still alive and he's trying to take out that flash speeder, just blow it up or something. Only 1 difficulty. He can aim because the bantha is just kind of there. He's skilled at riding it. What else? I'm gonna say, oh yeah, remember he had 3. They had a bunch of advantages even though he missed. So I'm gonna add. Yeah, that too. Okay. And I did I chose a destiny point. So it's only 1 difficulty to hit the flash speeder. So the flash speeder's whole defense is 10 points of, you have to hit 10 points. So let's see what it does here. I'm trying to really, take out this flat. Man. Okay, well, I got to hit. Hit. Oh, there's a bunch of hits. Hit. Okay, did it. All right. The slug thrower finally hit. So it's 7 plus, 4, 5, 6. 6, so 13 and 3, which did not make a crit, right? So 13 plus, let's just say it did make a crit though. So let's say it did like a triumph, whatever. Let's just say it did make a crit, but it did 13. So it did 1 whole damage. Okay, so and it does a crit. Okay, so let's roll a crit real quick. And yeah, no bonuses or nothing. I didn't make the bullet a bonus or anything. And I'll roll on the vehicle crit chart. 85. Can I even read this? Shields down. Okay, well, decrease defense and affected defense zone to 0. And decrease all the defense zones by intense critical hit is repaired while defense is affected. Doesn't your storage. Defense can be assigned to protect that defense zone from. Oh, okay, so since it doesn't have a shield, it suffers 4 points of strain. Yep, and it has 5. So, boom, he hit something. It's only got 1. So that ship has only got 1, or the flash speeder has only got 1, strain left. And then the pilot's like, uh-oh. And so that's here. I think that's enough to teach you how exciting and silly and fun you can make it. And remember, really, the essence of shooting is just 2 die, right? And it'll only go up to 3 if they're really far away and the vehicle is a jet bike, or the I don't know what they're called, like a pod racer, and then the little the cycle grav scooter guys, the smaller ones. Oh, maybe it's right here. I can look at those guys. Oh my god. Oh, right here. Speeder bikes. Woo, speeder bikes. So speeder bikes will probably be 3 difficulty to hit because they're like zipping around and stuff. And if the guy makes a maneuver, it could even be 4 difficulty. If the person is trying to really maneuver and stuff. And just don't get flustered. Just go with something simple like that. And if you're unsure, give them a boost die, or give them a setback die. That's what I love about the boost die and the setback die is that it's just easy to give them that or give them this if you're unsure about something. And the player's like, oh, okay, cool, just whatever, that's fine. And just have fun. And generally speaking, too, if you're a new GM, the players should generally win 80 to 90% of their encounters. You know what I mean? Otherwise, it's going to be terrible. And when the ones they lose should be more of an escape than a lose kind of thing. And by the way, in the story, they did get the Banthas, and they go to the Tuscan Raider village, and they won. And I can't really show it to you because I don't think I loaded it up, but I will show it to you in another video, the village, and then. So I'm done with the lesson. Now I'm going to do a little commercial if you're still around, and it's for my Kickstarter. And also, you all these miniatures are available on my website, Storytelling Ron. If you want to go look there, I'm not going to tell you exactly where because it's a secret. You just got to go hunt around, and that's my little semi-commercial. And I love using these guys. It's cheap. It's easy. They're free. Okay. My Tuscan Raiders. See, and I can do this. I don't care. Like, I'm not worried about losing them or anything. And then this is like my little pack for the next adventure. And then I got this kind of put it here. So also in my maps, if you ever get one of my map or check out my maps, the way I do it is all the players are sitting, in a sort of semicircle looking at the map. And I love doing it this way. I'm just into miniatures. I used to be into miniatures. I had a ton of 40K, Warhammer 40K. And before that, I had a lot of fantasy miniatures. You guys got to go through that. I understand. But this is my sort of peaceful Zen period now. And this is an old mine. You can see the entrance here. And I'm going to, obviously I'm going to have those, oh my God, I forgot the name. You know what I'm talking about. The Sarlaccs, I think it's called. Yeah, so this is a big Sarlacc pit over here. And then they're like, oh my God, that's the Sarlacc pit. Let's get away from there. But then there's going to be smaller Sarlaccs too. So they have to deal with those. There's also womp rats in this area. So they're going to attack them. That'll be fun. And they got cover and things to do. I try to make every map I try to make it so that it feels like you as a GM can do extra bunch of little adventures. I even have crate dragons, like little ones, and I got these from toys off the internet. And I haven't put most of my creatures on my website, but I will this week as tokens and printables. And I use them all the time, and they're fun. So they're always constantly fighting monsters, shooting at them or fighting them with their vibro blade or whatever. Because she hasn't gotten her lightsaber yet, but she does have crystal, and she just figured out that it was a Koopa or. What was the crystal's name again? I'm going blank. Even though we've said it so many times. That's me. That's 50. When you reach 50, man, your brain something crystals. Quebec. Oh my gosh, I can't even. Quebec. You know what I'm talking about. Okay, she has one, and she just learned that you can make lightsabers out of them from the Sand People because they told them about Het. It was cool. Anyway, so this is one of the first adventures they did was the pirate captain. There's an old mine over there. Maybe you could go check it out for us. So that's like obligation. That's an adventure. And what I want to show here is this is the mine, and you can obviously make this in Roll20, which is really fun. I'm gonna show you that. But check this out. So let's say they go inside. I'm gonna make it a little bigger. Not so so I should have some of the creatures out too to show you this. Where's the other player? So let me zoom in. They went around, fought some stuff, so obviously I like to zoom in like that so they can really see it. The entrance there, if you can see that. The entrance to the mine. Where's the other character? I put it on this tray. I don't care if I lose it because I can print it out again. Anyway, there's more in this, but whatever. So there's the mine. They got to figure out how to get in. They can crawl under, nice and dark. Then I use an eraser and what? That's not the. What did I get? Wow. Let me just show you the mine, and then. So as you can see, I erased this area and deselect and am I in the right? Okay. So there's the entrance. There's the here, I'm gonna do this again just because that was ridiculous. Okay, it's flipped. Man, that is lame. Oh, I flipped it. Anyway, I know what I did, but I don't want to mess with that. Okay. Just go. Okay, so there it is. Now they're going to sneak in, right? See? and they can keep looking around, and I'll just get my hand going. This is obviously in Photoshop. Now right here is a broken down, let me show you real quick. There I drew a broken down gun, defensive gun, like, oh, don't tell them it's broken down, but then it's there. And, you know, they see it, they can go and actually salvage it. And I do salvage things where they can collect salvage. And it's called gear parts, vehicle parts, and I think that's it. Yeah, gear parts. And then they can use gear parts then to repair smaller things like land speeders, the speeder bikes, and droids, and then their equipment. So they get, you know, gear parts. And one gear part is one encumbrance, so they have to deal with that. So then they go out. See, I just do this. They go out and out, check out the area. They fought some womp rats came out of there. They fought what's the guy's name? A Savrip in here that was living here. And so this is the way I make my maps, and I do top level and a bottom level. So this is like easily, you know, the top map could be 2 sessions or more. The bottom map in the mines took them 3 sessions to do, and exploring and getting gear parts. And they had some mounts, Alopes and dewbacks, you know, that they parked out there and were collecting the gear and getting stuff. And ooh, and in this map too, they, you know, there's a well, you know, they get a flash. That's where they got the flash speeder from that you saw in the previous demo. They got this flash speeder here. Let me just show the bottom over here. So they found this, you know, and fixed it up, and they had to work. They had to work all the equipment to finally get it up. They found power cells to get the power generators going, and then got this running, and then got the crane. They lifted it up, and, you know, and then fixed it. You know, just do little fun things like that. And they have done 9 adventures now, and they're still on Tatooine. I haven't even gotten on the spaceship. Anyway, that's my obsession with this, and they love it. And, you know, it's just a matter of planning it all out and slowly building their characters. And then there's, you know, and they can each search in here. Like for this area, the mechanical area, you have to have mechanics to search the area. For this sort of hospital and work or resting area, you know, they have to have a different search. I keep a blank sheet here. I'm sure I remember. They have to search survival, I think they did. I can't remember exactly, but to find like food and water, like leftover, you know, because everything was sort of evacuated, but then they're finding little leftover food packs and water packs and things like that that they can keep and use. And then, and this is like a mess hole out right here, because it's like a mining place. The one thing I really didn't do here is like mining tunnels. I kind of forgot the mining of the mining tunnels, but oh well, whatever. And these are like power generators that are all broken, and this is all debris they can search through and get, you know, gear parts. And then here was the captain's, or the boss, the mining boss, and they got like little rich sundries, little, you know, maybe some valuable stuff in there and information. And this is the communications and, you know, like the main office. And there, the Savrip lived on the broken bed here, and his little creature beast lived here, pet. And oh, come on, delivery! I gotta go. Be right back. Okay, where were we? So yeah, I like to you know, have the skills here so I know what they're doing. The animal was living there, and they had. And what I did with this too is because it's communications, they got info about other places in the area. Like there's another mine run by the Imperial, and they had like old information, you know, about community. Oh, sorry, it's a delivery thing. Okay, I just rushed in morning breath. And then here I had, this is where the Kyber Crystal, there we go, was in here. And this was a very difficult terrain for them to go through. It was a lot of fun. There's, you know, slippy, slidey, wet, and she got a vision and went over there. And the rest of them were waiting over here for her because they knew that she was getting something. And it was really cool. It's like a very Jedi thing. Now this one's hilarious because this was this is the root, the bottom part of a Sarlacc. And so this was all of its waste material. So it had a bunch of, this thing had a bunch of, you know, waste, but also it had weapons, you know, all kinds of stuff from people that got digested. And so they were able to go through there. And one of them found a frag grenade and rolled one of these and blew up. It was hilarious. He went down to like 1 hit point. Blah! You know, the frag grenade. And so did some of the others, and they had to like heal and deal with that. And, but in there, one of the characters, the bounty hunter, found some bounty pucks. You know, and the pucks happen to be for the captain, the pirate captain. So the Bounties Guild, even though it doesn't really work in Tatooine right now because it's the Mandalorian period, post all that, the bounty puck is for the local pirate captain. And what he does is he sends the bounty hunters, or his people send the bounty hunters here, saying that he's there, and so they end up getting eaten by the Sarlacc. So that's how he gets rid of the bounties. And he's kind of a cheap, low-level bounty, so it's kind of like low-level bounty hunters. But now that one of the players has a decision to make, does he, because he wants to be a bounty hunter, so does he take out the captain? And he's still got the pucks, and he's still trying to decide. And the pirate, though, has a counter puck that can detect when one of his pucks is nearby. So he almost caught the player, but he didn't. I rolled bad for him. But anyway, all right. Sorry, that's me babbling. And again, these are my. I've got a Kickstarter going too. I'm trying to sell this. I'm just, trying to, get it so that so I can keep making these more and more. And I'm hoping this will be something you'd like to do, or this interests you. Whatever. It's a Kickstarter, but anyway, that's my little pitch. I don't know how to sell. Okay, but I love doing this anyway. That's it. Thanks for watching to the end. If you even did, I get why you wouldn't. I wouldn't. I mean, with stuff that's babbling on like crazy, So anyway, but I just love doing this stuff. So there, it's on my Kickstarter if you want to check it out. And there's a bunch more maps I'm making. I've already made, and I want to do a whole series on Tatooine. Then go to Ryloth. Then go to Genosian first. That's creepy, right? And then go to Ryloth and make these cool maps like this, where you have a bunch of stuff to do in an area, and you can get stuff and blah, blah, blah. And I do add stuff like this, like adventure ideas and information on the map if you want to use that to help you out. Okay,